Hi, Randy Altman with Post Magazine here with Ted Chilowitz with Red. We're in the Red booth, which is very cool and very busy. So can you walk us through it?
Yeah, I'd love to. We've got tons of new stuff. The booth is gigantic this year because we have so many new things to show. I think you could actually play a regulation soccer match in this booth. It's so big. There's probably 9 new things. I'll try and rattle them off as fast as I can. You can get all kinds of B-roll and do whatever you want. The first, probably the biggest announcement is that we're actually upgrading our cameras at NAB show floor. We actually brought our manufacturing facility to NAB in small form, the full thing, the whole assembly, disassembly, test, build, and get the camera out the door. So we're upgrading the 5K Epic cameras, the world's best movie cameras these days, to the 6K Dragon right here at NAB, which I think no one would ever even attempt to do other than us.
I don't think anyone has ever done anything.
No, I can't imagine like that. But it's working, and it's pretty amazing, and you can see them right over there all working in the clean room. It's the real clean room. We just brought it right to NAB.
It's pretty amazing. And you manufacture in the U.S.?
That's part of why we brought it here, was strategically we were like, how do we best show that the world's best cameras are actually not made someplace where everyone assumes that they would be made. They're actually made in California. And we said, what if we actually just bring our booth and we have these big signs that say made in the USA, and I tell people every time I talk to them, these cameras are made right here in the U.S.
Yeah.
And
at the moment, right here on the show floor.
NAB.
Yeah. So what else? There's so much to go through.
So there's so much to go through. So something that might be not getting a lot of attention, but it's really important to a lot of big DPs and people in post, is we introduced a new mount for the Epic that is a global shutter and electronic internal ND mount. So the traditional way that a DP would have to deal with a lot of light on the set is you put ND, lots of thick glass in front, dark glass. Adds weight, degrades the image just by the nature of the fact that it's glass in front of the lens. So we have a special system now. It's a new mount. You replace the mount on the Epic. You don't have to buy a whole new camera. It's targeted around $4,500 for the new mount. And it allows you to dial in very precisely the amount of ND you want, but you keep the camera very, very small. The weight didn't change. You don't have to add anything to the front of it. And there's the bonus piece is that it turns the very fast rolling shutter, which is, again, best in the industry, but still a rolling shutter on an Epic, as well as many other cameras, into a global shutter. So it ties into the sensor electronics. And then, like if you're shooting rock concerts, we have strobe lights, or guns with action movies, and sometimes the rolling shutter is not as fast as the gunshot or the laser shot or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's all cured. And also all sort of other motion artifacts of a rolling shutter and goes away. So
that's all part of that?
It's all part of the system, all built into the mount. It's a really big deal for camera people that really understand this stuff. It's like, wow, it may be even as big as the Dragon. They're like, wow, that's amazing. They can't wait to have it. So that's a big thing. On the post side, the new what we call Rocket X, the next generation rocket, is now showing. It's working up in the front and getting ready to ship in a few months. It actually moves upstream, interestingly enough. So as opposed to it getting lower in price, it actually gets much, much more powerful in power. It's 5 times the processing power of the original rocket, which is, of course, staple of the post industry, right? Everybody uses them in all the editing systems and all the DI systems to deal with native RAW files at high resolution, the red files in high resolution. But we're already bumping up against the threshold at 5K with the current sensor, with the current red rocket. So now we're going to 6K, and we knew we needed a new red rocket. So it actually costs a little bit more than the old red rocket, but if you, what's that? But it's ridiculously more powerful. Still, from a post perspective, like anybody that does red on set or in a post environment, either small indie all the way up to the biggest, like you just met with the Company 3 guys, it's a non-issue. They need performance, and it's a couple of grand here or there, doesn't matter. What it costs is irrelevant because they're saving money the minute it plugs into their systems, right? Because everything's super efficient. So they're actually making money on these things. So that wasn't at all a concern. They just needed to hit certain performance specs, which they do quite easily now with the new one. And the build is much more rugged and robust because people are using it on set, and that's a big new thing. What else? Red Ray is probably the other really big thing. So the Red Ray player is just getting ready to ship. And I showed you the demonstrations of it. It's pretty mind-blowing.
Gorgeous picture.
Yeah. So that's 4K deliverable. It's the first of its kind. Red is really sort of leading the charge, as you know, for many years now in this universe where everybody initially said, HD is going to be fine. And we went, not really. Now we're kind of in the catbird seat. Everybody's like, sort of following us.
I remember a couple of years ago back at IBC, was Jim Gennard was like, now we just need a way to see these pictures, and finally
we started building that. So Jim and the team and everybody started working on what that needed to be. So it's a very low-cost playback device. It's essentially an advanced set-top box that can play 4K material at 10 megabit and deliver that to a giant 4K monitor or a 4K projector. So you're talking about files that are effectively internet streamable. But it's cinema level HD, cinema level 4K that you're seeing. Mind-blowing.
Okay, just because of time. What else?
Okay, so what did I forget? Oh, Element. You want to talk about Element, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Element Technica, which is also a staple in our industry, has been providing a lot of the metal pieces and the accessories and the hardware that turn a RED camera into something that a big movie or a high-end TV show is going to be very comfortable working with.
Right.
We've acquired them. So now all of those great Element accessories are RED. So the new company name or the new division is called RED Element.
And that is done final.
Done final in the books. They're now they're our team. They work with us. And we're thrilled. They're great guys. Ever since RED started, they've been supporting RED in a really robust way, and it just makes perfect sense.
Okay, I'm trying to think, what else? Anything? I know you're doing your education stuff.
Oh yeah, well of course. So
Yeah.
this whole side of the booth, like if you get all this, of course education is a big passion of mine and a big passion of a lot of our team.
Yeah.
And we decided, you know what education is. We run our week-long classes and we have our long movie school, the 16-week class, which just started off to great success and it's incredible. So you want to learn about all that, you go to just Google Reducation and you'll find it, education with an R. And what we decided to do is bring the class to NAB. So 3 times a day we do a 1-hour version of a week-long class. And within an hour we're able to show how to use the camera, how to do on-set post, and how to bring it into post-production and finishing in an hour. So it's a little bit like the most awesome gateway drug ever, because these people come in and they think, oh well, RED's like really great, and obviously all the big movies in the world are shot with RED, but it's nothing that I can approach. I'm sure it's like really exotic and really expensive and really hard to do, and what we say is, actually it's the opposite of that. Once you learn how to do it, it's the easiest, most powerful, most straightforward workflow you're ever going to find. So more than me telling you, why don't we show you?
Yeah.
And in an hour's time, they learn how to use a RED, an Epic. We start the class, and within 5 minutes, they're shooting on Epics in small little groups all around the booth. Then we take it and we bring it into the on-set post and we show how to grade it and prep it and make all the dailies. Then we bring it into finishing with the Adobe tools or the Quantel tools, and we show them to edit and deliver it and make 4K to deliver to Red Ray, all in an hour. And then they go, okay, so I got it. Now I got to spend a week to really get it. And yes, and that's what it is.
That's amazing. I mean, considering your first booth at NAB. Yeah. This is
It's a little big.
it's quite a change.
Apparently, some people really like what we're doing, and they keep us in business. So it's pretty great.
Thank you.
My pleasure.